Chief Meteorologist Chris Schaefer.
Another quiet night tonight as we fall back to 66. Tomorrow, the last of the summer-like days. Partly cloudy, still a bit humid with a high of 83. Some rain showers are possible early Friday. That clears out. The clouds will follow, and so will the humidity. Expect a high around 80. Then a fall-like vibe this weekend. Breezy, cool, highs in the upper 60s to low 70s.
Partly cloudy right now, 84 at News Talk 830 WCCO.
Where Minnesota comes for news. Where Minnesota comes to talk. News Talk 830 WCCO. You're thinking about it. Jason's talking about it. There are no breaks on bold takes here. Buckle up. This is Drive Time with DeRUSH. Now, live from Minnesota's biggest microphone, here's Jason DeRUSH.
All right, let's go. One piece of advice. One thing that you would tell the head of Target. It's Jason. Welcome to Drive Time. Target's got a new CEO. We care about this because so many Minnesotans work for Target. It is one of the top 5 employers in the state. The corporate headquarters and those employees, largely a driver for downtown Minneapolis, especially as more of them are expected to come back to work in just a couple of weeks. So the question is, what do they need to fix? 651-461-9226. There is a sense that there's a lot they need to fix. I will say evidence that I am no businessman, because I'm looking through the earnings report today, and every article you read about Target earnings is like investors mad at earnings, stock slides on declining sales, stock plunges as new CEO pick disappoints Wall Street. Last quarter, the profit at Target was $1 billion. $1 billion. That's not enough. What a failure of a company. Man, Target, they suck, don't they? $1 billion they made in profit. The revenue is like $25 billion. Man, wouldn't it be nice if they could get that company together? There is no doubt there is a perception that it's falling apart. So you got a meeting, you got a direct line to the new CEO. And that new CEO's name is Mike Fidelke. 651-461-9226. Let's go to the phones. Jonathan is with us. Jonathan, good to talk to you. What would you tell what would you tell the CEO?
Well, first off, welcome back from your little trip with
Thank you.
The thing I would tell him or her, whoever it is, first off, as a customer, we do not like our stuff to be locked up.
Oh, the locked up stuff. Yes.
Oh, it drives me absolutely up the wall. And I'll tell you why. It takes 30 minutes for somebody to come and unlock it.
To come and get it unlocked. Jonathan, your phone is sort of breaking up, but we get the idea.
Wait, there's one more thing.
All right. Oh, go ahead. I'll try to translate.
The other thing I would say to this person is put some security out in the front, number one.
Yeah.
Number two, nobody likes to be harassed when they walk into a store.
Meaning? Oh, that's why the security. That's why you'd want the security. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's they don't have to be across the street, whoever it is.
Right.
It doesn't matter if it's black, white, whatever. If we're paying customers, we want to walk in and feel safe walking into the store. Makes
sense. Jonathan, thank you. The number one point that Jonathan made, I think, is a very good one on the locked up stuff. Nobody likes the stuff to be locked up. Now, when we were in LA, we went to Target before we moved Sam in the dorm, and you needed to hit the button for deodorant. You needed to hit the button for laundry detergent. You needed to hit the button for, well, I don't think for shampoo, but some of the stuff, there's a lot of button pushing. They responded pretty quickly, I have to say. Jonathan said that sometimes it takes a long time. 651-461-9226. Lots of text coming in. I would tell Target to put their DEI program back in place. I boycotted them after they announced they were no longer doing DEI, and I was happy to see that perhaps my boycott had some influence. Now that they've suffered some consequences, I'm hoping they understand the importance of DEI and reconsider. Boy, isn't that interesting? Because there are some people who say Target kind of backing off of DEI has them going to Target now. That's a tough one, isn't it? If I ran Target, would I change course into a full-throated defense of DEI? No, I don't think I would, just because it's such a hot button. What I would say is that we are for everyone. We want every guest to feel welcome. We want every creative thinker with a new product to feel like they have a shot to get on our shelves. We are for everyone. That's what I think. 651-461-9226. You've got your line to the new CEO of Target. Wall Street sort of disappointed they didn't bring in somebody from the outside. Brian Cornell was from the outside. I think it's good they have someone. I will say, as a perspective of someone who cares about our community, this is consistent with my poll ad take, that I think it's phenomenal that they hired a guy who's lived in the Twin Cities for 20 years. He's from Iowa, went to the University of Iowa, worked for Target for 20 years. He's 47, 48, something like that, 49, young. But he's here. So I think that's good for the Twin Cities. I think that's good because Brian Cornell had a place in Florida, which is where he went during COVID, and by all accounts, that's where he lived. I think it's better for us to have a CEO who's here. Just sell stuff, forget the politics. I stopped before I stopped. Let's see if I can make sense of this. If the new CEO, I stopped shopping at Target for the DEI change. If this new CEO starts putting DEI back, I'll start going again. It is interesting, this boycott that started here in Minneapolis. It worked. I think it unquestionably worked. I was skeptical at the beginning. I didn't think it made sense. But I do think the backing down, the reason people were so mad at Target, to me, wasn't to a certain degree, the position they took, I think, doesn't matter. The reason as a customer you're upset is because part of the brand promise of Target is that it wasn't Walmart. It was a little better, a little more caring, a little more progressive, a little more on the front edge of things. And not too much. I do think they went too far. But when you say, like, no, we're not doing that anymore, but they sort of were doing, I don't know, the whole thing was a disaster. I think coming out and saying we're going to go back, that's no way. Mark is in Minneapolis. Oh, we just lost him. Mark just hung up. Let's break. Lots of texts. If you want to call, now's your chance. Mark just dropped off. 651-461-9226. Drive Time with DeRUSH. One piece of advice for the Target CEO, and I'll give you my piece of advice when we come back.
This is Drive Time with DeRUSH on News Talk 830 WCCO.
J.H. and Sons is ready for you to experience a new and next level of men's clothing. It's Jason. Get to J.H. and Sons at the Galleria in Edina. Let me tell you what you will experience, and especially this is so relevant because right now, So many people are being called back to the office for the first time in years. And if you want to look like you mean business, J.H. and Sons should be your first stop. So the service is what makes it different. Right now in an online shopping era, when you go to certain big box type stores and can't get somebody to help you, you go to J.H. and Sons, you're going to meet Kevin, or you're going to meet Bryce, or Chuck, or Dean. And these guys have been dressing men in Minnesota for decades. The Halberstadt family started more than 50 years ago in St. Cloud. Now they're in Sioux Falls, Omaha, Des Moines, and Edina. J.H. and Sons is at the Galleria. They're there for you. Go check it out. Tell them you heard it on CCO. jhandsons.com is the website. You can sign up for their email list, sir. And that way you'll be the first to know about special events or special savings. But go experience the difference. Pick out a great suit. jhandsons.com.
Let's go. You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and help strengthen your immune response. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Schedule in minutes at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Moms and dads, do you wish you could know where your kids' shoes are at all times? Now you can with Skechers' newest Apple AirTag compatible sneakers, Find My Skechers. There's a clever hidden AirTag compartment under the shoe's insole. It's sleek, secure, and your child can't feel or see it. Then you can check where your kids' shoes are on the Find My app. Plus, they're available for boys and girls. Get Find My Skechers at Skechers.com, a Skechers store near you, or wherever kids' shoes are sold. Apple AirTags sold separately.
So many of us look around our house and say it is time to downsize. That's exactly what Susan and Kevin Borowick did. They join us now. I want to ask you about the process of working with the John Schuster Group, Coldwell Banker Realty, and your agent, Kieran Evanson.
Well, it was just extremely smooth. We sat down, he did a market analysis for us so we could really develop a good pricing strategy. He sent out a staging consultant who helped us get things ready for showing. We just couldn't be happier. We received an offer, actually more than one offer, quite a bit over our asking price.
That's part of the whole Schuster Group difference, is that their marketing programs really target the right buyers. Did you feel that when they were going through the process with you?
Absolutely.
If someone is on the fence about hiring the Schuster Group, what would you tell them?
They greatly exceeded our expectations, and I would say you just cannot go wrong working with the Schuster Group.
Contact John Schuster of the John Schuster Group, 952-222-9000, online, johnschustergroup.com. Terms and conditions may apply.
You hear that? That's the sound of your business losing money. Legacy phone systems weren't built for today's teams. OpenPhone gives your business a smarter way to stay connected. OpenPhone lets you manage calls, texts, voicemail, and contacts all in one place so that you and your team can deliver a seamless customer experience from ring to... Need to take calls on the go? OpenPhone automatically transcribes, summarizes, and highlights next steps from every call, so you never miss a detail. Need insight into what closes a sale? With OpenPhone's AI call tags, you can instantly spot key topics like objections or pricing questions, and use those insights to coach your team and level up every customer interaction. And yes, you can bring your existing number with you for free. Keep your team in sync and your customers happy with OpenPhone. OpenPhone. No missed calls, no missed customers. Try OpenPhone for free at openphone.com/try and get 20% off your first 6 months. That's openphone.com/try. Openphone.com/TRY.
You're listening to Drive Time with DeRUSH. Video streaming live on YouTube and always on your radio at News Talk 830 WCCO.
One thing that I would say to the Target CEO is you've got to make shopping fun. Now, I'm not saying Target should go back to the Target time. Remember the Target bit where it's like, oh, we're a little bit fancy. We're not the basic, we're not Kmart. We're not Zayre. We're not Venture. We're not that. No. We are Target. I don't think that's where people are today. I don't think that's what people want. But I do think that you got to make shopping fun. And going to Target right now is not fun. It's not. There's not a sense of excitement or adventure. Part of what's fun about Costco and Sam's Club is that you never know what's going to be in the center of the store. So there's a little bit of a discovery there. Why do you go to Costco as opposed to just ordering big sizes on Amazon? You go because now look, they've got Christmas trees up, or they've got Gophers sweatshirts out, or whatever. It's always different. It's kind of fun. Target is excellent at the curbside pickup. They've got shipped for the delivery at home. Like, all that stuff is good. That's all the stuff that sort of the younger generation wants. I don't want it. I like going to the store, but it's fine. Like, for people who want that, I think they're pretty good at it. But going to Target, as Jonathan said, is pushing a button, making you feel like a criminal when you're trying to buy deodorant. And I get it, like you're trying to prevent theft. But try something else. Like, that does not make for a fun shopping experience. The DEI thing is an issue. I think it is. And the other issue they have is not only disappointing guests who thought that Target stood for something, which is Target's fault. They're the ones who waded into social commentary. But a lot of the employees thought that they were working for a place that stood for something. That's tough. So this is why, unlike Wall Street, I am more bullish about the fact that they hired an insider, because this guy for sure has been hearing it from his own team. He has perhaps been feeling it himself. The fact that the Target that they thought was, meant something, it was moving in some direction. Then I was like, well, what are we? We're kissing the ring of Trump, or are we for having a diverse stream of vendors? Are we not? Are we, what are we about? And I think they've sort of been floundering on that stuff.
Yeah, but I think wading back into that topic at this point can only hurt them.
I don't think you have to wade into that.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. I mean,
but I do think you have to say that we are a welcoming place, that we are open for all.
Yeah. And are you just going to stir up a hornet's nest again, though, if you do that?
But if you do nothing, you have where you are now, where you're being protested, and the people who claim they're happy about you are also Walmart customers.
Well, there's that.
So what are you doing? What do you do if you're they screwed themselves to a certain degree?
I think they have. I agree with you on that. I've got two things that I think they should do.
Great.
Number one, let's decide, are we doing self-checkout or are we not doing self-checkout? Because to have the lanes there and to have them shut down half the time because you're worried about theft, which I get, then you got to, do some deconstruction there and get them out of the way. Because just having them there but closed looks terrible.
Yeah.
And to those of us that do want to do self-checkout, it's just annoying. So either do it or don't do it, but don't kind of do it halfway.
Agreed.
The second thing that they should do, and one of our texters wrote this in, I'll just read the text: drop prices and advertise the hell out of it. They'll have people breaking down their doors. In this day and age, the number one thing you can do to try and boost people in the door. Now, this isn't going to boost revenue, obviously, if you drop prices, but you get people in the door, and that increased traffic, I think, pays off down the line, is just start cutting and slashing prices every single place that you can. Make yourself that focal point of, do you want to, in a tough economy, do you want to save yourself some money? Come on into Target. And if that's, if you make a big blitz advertising wise and demonstrate how your prices are, don't just say that your prices are lower, but demonstrate it. I think that's a big boost to the company.
Yeah, I think there's no doubt that there was a point where having a slightly upscale image made sense. And today, everybody's price sensitive. Whether even if you're upper middle class or rich, you are price sensitive. I think competing on price, the other challenge they have is stuff not on the shelf. Stuff you want. The promise of Target is when you go to the store, they will have what you want. And empty spaces on the shelf, I think that's a major issue. Texter, I dropped back on shopping first when Target quit their percentage back to schools. I've almost cut all my shopping there out when they cut back on DEI. They used to represent community, not anymore. It is interesting where you're like, how do they do it? How do they win those folks back? I think the way you win that is you make shopping fun and you beat Walmart. And this is what this is the point that I was making. At this point, I'd rather go to Walmart than Target because Walmart hasn't changed their colors. Isn't that interesting? I do think the Target, it just goes to show as shoppers, like, we're under no obligation to be like logical consistently, right? We're allowed to be emotional and say we're mad at Target. So we're bringing our business to a company that, what do you know about Amazon? What do you know about Walmart? Well, you know that they didn't tell you one thing and then act a different way. It's pretty interesting. My advice to Target, stick to what you do best, says a 507er. That's retail, not social justice issues. Yeah. Texture wants some examples of stuff not on the shelves that I went to buy that wasn't there. So there's always another brand, but I feel so that's a fair pushback. I feel like that has been vastly improved, but I've had times at Target, not in grocery. Grocery usually seems to be stocked, but in the shampoo, in sort of mostly I go there for toothpaste, shampoo, deodorant, prescription type stuff. Yeah, Texture says Target out of everything. It'll be interesting. Is that a job that you would want, Dan? CEO of Target?
I mean, it's a pretty good paycheck.
I mean,
almost what you make here.
Maybe
a pay cut for you, but
Michael Fidelke made $3 million as the CFO and executive vice president last year. Yeah, pretty good money. Pretty good money. Texter saying on-shelf reliability called out as a win today during the earnings call. So, yeah, maybe that is something they've improved on. 3:31. We're going to break. When we come back, what I think is the most interesting story of the day. A local high school that has some trespassers at the soccer and the football field, such to the point that it has caused them to move games, change times. They may not have a single nighttime home football or soccer game. We'll tell you why. It is fascinating. Stick around. Drive Time back in a minute.
This is Drive Time with DeRUSH on News Talk 830 WCCO.
All right, driving in, I saw 4 Chris Lindahl signs. And I love it. It's Jason here from my friend Chris Lindahl, the Arms Out Real Estate Company. And right now you are seeing more and more of Chris Lindahl out there. And I reached out to Chris and said, what's up? What are you doing? Why so many billboards? And Chris said it's because, now, I mean, it's more than normal. He's always on the billboard. He said it is because more and more people are saying yes to the guaranteed cash offer. The reason is speed. Guaranteed cash offer gets you through lots of different stuff, but so many people are looking for a fast path to a fresh start. If you are looking to move on from a house, maybe it hasn't sold, maybe you inherited it, maybe you've had a family situation that has you needing to unload a house, you do not have time to gamble on the open market. You don't have time to do repairs. You don't want to spend that money to renovate or declutter. And the surprises and delays, you certainly don't want to deal with that. I know Chris. You know Chris. You see him everywhere. He's a Minnesotan. You associate his name with the word guarantee because he guarantees he will get you the finish line on a house sale in as little as 2 days. That's right, 2 days. You'll have cash in hand. Get that fresh start now. Guaranteed cash offer. Easy to get the process started by going to chrislindahl.com.
Not listening to WCCO. Listening to WCCO is like turning on the lights. What room am I in? Because suddenly, everything makes sense. Is this even my house? We don't just tell you what's happening, we help you see it more clearly. News Talk 830 WCCO.
Attention! Have you racked up $10,000 or more in credit card debt? Are you barely getting by making minimum payments? With credit card debt reaching all-time highs, National Debt Relief is notifying consumers about significant debt relief options currently being made available to help those with overwhelming credit card debt. These options may reduce a large portion of credit card debt for those who qualify. You don't need to declare bankruptcy or take out a consolidation loan, and you may only have to pay back a fraction of what you owe, even if you have bad credit. National Debt Relief has already reduced the credit card debt for more than 550,000 consumers, so don't wait. If you owe $10,000, $20,000, or even $100,000 in credit card debt, you can now take advantage of this financial debt relief as the cost of living continues to skyrocket. To check what debt reduction you may qualify for, call 800-334-1155. 800-334-1155. Again, that's 800-334-1155.
Storm season is here. That means nature's fury will cause damage to your roof. When it does, that's when you call Brian Jobe of Jobe Brothers Construction. Because they're local, they offer same-day Twin City-wide emergency service. Jobe Brothers Construction will repair or replace your roof from nature's wrath. They'll also work with your insurance company to ensure all the I's are dotted and T's are crossed. Brian and his team truly take the hassle out of a terrible situation. Working with Brian and his crew will give you peace of mind because it was done right. Just contact Jobe Brothers Construction for a no-obligation, free, and full inspection. Contact them online at jobebrothersconstruction.com. That's J-O-B-E, Jobe Brothers Construction, handling all your roofing, siding, window, and gutter needs. They'll even repair your roof from fallen trees. Jobe Brothers Construction. They get the job done right.
Time to find out how it's moving on the roads and what's moving in via the skies. This is traffic and weather together on CCO, starting with a check of the commute.
Brought to you by American Rare Coin and Collectibles. Find them at AmericanRareCoinAndCollectibles.com. Things are slow for North 35E as move between Victoria up towards 694, where earlier crash has been taken care of. Some slowing along Highway 36 eastbound as move away from 280 heading up toward Highway 61. 694 is jammed up both directions between 35W and 252. If you've inherited valuable coins, gold, silver, or jewelry, where do you turn? American Rare Coin and Collectibles. For over 30 years, American Rare Coin has been purchasing valuable coin and precious metal collections with honesty, transparency, and immediate payment. American Rare Coin and Collectibles.com. Jerry Peterson, News Talk 830 WCCO.
Jordana Green here. I pray you and your family are always safe. But if there's ever a time where you need an advocate after an accident, let Mike Bryant of Bradshaw and Bryant help you. He will work with and for you in dealing with the insurance company. Call 800-770-7008 today. Bradshaw and Bryant, seeking justice for the injured.
Now, the latest conditions and the outlook for the next few days with your CCO forecast.
Bradshaw and Bryant bringing the forecast. Here's Chris Schaefer.
A partly cloudy sky tonight, cooling back to 66. Still feels like summer tomorrow. A bit humid with a high of 83 with a mix of sun and clouds. A cold front comes through overnight, so some rain showers are possible early Friday. They will scoot. The clouds will follow. It will be less humid by the afternoon. Still a high up around 80. Then it's like fall. It will be breezy this weekend and cool both days. Low 70s on Saturday, upper 60s. That's it for highs on Sunday.
St. Paul, it's 83 and sunny. Beautiful summer day on CCO.
Jason DeRUSH.
If I'm having a bad day, I will pull up and I am ready to go.
On News Talk 830 WCCO.
Well, there's some very special Apple Valley High School football fans who have kind of set up shop at the football stadium. These fans are so special that they're federally protected, and they've actually caused Apple Valley to relocate some of their athletic activities. Apple Valley Athletic Director Corey Hansen is with us on the John Schuster Coldwell Banker Hotline. Corey, I know like you usually charge a couple of bucks for fans to come into the stadium, but these particular fans did not pay, did they?
No, they are free of charge. That's for sure.
We're talking about ospreys, couple of ospreys, big birds. And tell me kind of when you first noticed that these birds had set up. Are they on top of the light standards? Where did they go?
That's correct. So we started noticing them building their nests earlier this summer, and we seen these birds flying in with some large sticks, and they were building quite a large nest. So we knew we had something going on.
You guys are the Eagles, right? Apple Valley?
That's correct.
But not the Ospreys.
Yeah, no, we are not the Ospreys. No.
And there's, once you saw them start to build their nest, did you know right away, oh, I wonder if these are, I suppose athletic directors sort of have to know, like, yep, these might be federally protected. We better have the DNR out.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we said, okay, we need to start looking into this and see what's going on. And that's when working with our district and started working with the DNR in partnership with them to see what our options are and kind of see what we had going on.
Is this unusual, or do you have birds setting up in those light standards all the time?
This is quite unusual. This is the first time anything like this has happened before.
So how many ospreys are up there?
So we're again in partnership with the DNR. We're flying drones up there twice a week. So I've seen pictures with up to 4 osprey in the nest.
Wow! So a couple little newly hatched chicks up there, I guess, huh?
Yeah, that's what it seems to look like. Yeah, and we've kind of just monitored them and watched them grow over the last few months, so they're not so little anymore.
Right. Corey Hansen is with us, the athletic director from Apple Valley High School. Look, this is kind of cool. It is kind of a learning situation, I guess. This would be great if science class was in session yet in Apple Valley. But it is, I mean, can you play there? Like, can you turn the lights on with those birds up there? What do you have to do?
So, we can't turn the lights on because we don't want to put the birds in any potential harm. So we've had to reschedule any evening events we've had in the stadium. So that's where we've just been just working with other opponents around the state that we have games scheduled with, and just trying to figure out if we can play in the afternoon potentially for football, so we don't have to turn the lights on. And we do have an alternative turf field. We have 2 turf fields here on campus, so we've been able to move our soccer games to that turf field and not disrupt their schedule too much, because that alternative turf field does have lights.
I saw the picture that the Star Tribune's Elizabeth Flores, who is such a great photographer, this is such a cool picture at startribune.com of one of the ospreys leaving the nest. But this is like right smack in the middle, like right at the 50-yard line, right?
Exactly. Yep. Right on over the 50, right over our press box, that big main light on the 50. Yep.
Corey, this has to be driving you nuts though, right? Like, I mean, you sound like a good carer of the earth, of the birds, but like this would drive me absolutely batty.
It's a challenge for sure. But, just try to keep perspective. There's a lot bigger and worse natural disasters going on in the world, right? So we're just trying to just lean into it and make sure that not only do we work with the DNR to make sure we keep the birds safe and stay aligned with the policy and law, but also just trying to make sure we create a great varsity experience for our student athletes as well.
Now, I understand from the DNR that these birds like eat fish, and I don't suppose there are a lot of fish right there on the football field, but you guys do have a lot of lakes in the area, right?
Yep. So I think that's probably one of the main reasons they ended up trying to nest in the location that they did, because of the surrounding lakes and just having that vantage point and being able to go to the near lakes and come back right back to Apple Valley.
Pretty crazy. Corey Hansen, athletic director with us from Apple Valley High School. Look, I mean, the kids, I would imagine it's a little Like, look, you get it. There's nothing you can do. But if I were a senior on the football team, I would be a little bummed that I'm not playing a Friday Night Lights, playing at my home football stadium. What's the prospect here? I mean, are you going to lose the whole season, or what do you think's going to happen?
Well, so we've moved the first game of the year to a Saturday. Our first home game will now be played Saturday afternoon. We've actually ended up moving the mid-September game to a Friday afternoon right now. But we are working with some other partners who have reached out and are trying to find ways that maybe potentially we could play off-site and still give them that Friday night experience potentially. So still trying to work some things out, and again, it's really important to us to, like you say, to give those seniors that experience that they all hope and play for.
Soccer teams too. My kid was a soccer player, and so playing under those lights on the varsity team his senior year. I mean, look, kids understand that there are bigger things, but also you're talking 4 birds. I mean, it's still difficult when you're talking about a 17-year-old trying to say, sorry, bud, like, we got to protect these birds.
Yeah, it's a challenge, right? I think the story is so, different and so unexpected. People have been really understanding, and our student athletes have been understanding. But we also take it as an opportunity to teach, how do you deal with adversity or when things change, right? And how do we respond? So trying to use it as a learning opportunity for our student athletes as well.
It's pretty great. The way you guys are handling it is terrific. I mean, although before I give you an award for it, there's not much choice, right? The DNR is pretty clear as to this isn't just Minnesota law. This is federal law too.
No, you're exactly right. We've been working with the DNR every step of the way, and again, just respecting the safety of the birds, and they've been great in partnering with that, and also, again, trying to create a great experience for our students.
Corey, how many assistant coaches offered to get a BB gun in the middle of the night? Be honest.
0.
Okay.
Absolutely none.
Boosters, maybe some parents. Maybe some parents have said it.
Yeah, I have heard of 0.
All right, very good. Yes, and if you had, it's best to keep your mouth shut about it, probably.
Exactly right.
Well, it is very unusual. It's very interesting, and it is a learning lesson about adversity for sure. How are your teams? How are your soccer teams and your football team this year?
Well, we're really excited. The kids have been working hard. We had a record number of student athletes participate in our speed and strength program this year. Over 500 kids came every day this summer working out, and numbers are up. So we're excited.
So you guys have a great school there in Apple Valley. I was a speech and debate coach for for Maple Grove High School. So we spent some time out there at Apple Valley, which has a great kind of not just athletic programs there, but great theater, great speech and debate. So congratulations, and thank you for all you do for those kids out there. It's important.
Absolutely. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Protecting the birds too. Who knew? Didn't expect you'd be flying drones to take a look at an osprey nest.
Yeah, no, you didn't learn that in AD school. That's for sure.
Really good. Good stuff. Athletic Director Corey Hansen at Apple Valley High School. We appreciate it. Thanks, Corey.
Thank you.
Drive Time back in just a minute here on CCO.
You're listening to Drive Time with DeRUSH. Video streaming live on YouTube and always on your radio at News Talk 830 WCCO.
So today I got a message from a listener who said they reached out to Tureen Dermatology after hearing me talk about them right here on CCO. It's Jason here for my friends at Tureen Dermatology. They are the experts, no doubt about it, when it comes to your skin and skin care. And they have appointments available within 3 weeks. And one of the commenters on my Instagram page today was saying their old dermatologist said you had to wait a year. This is Jessica, who said, I switched to Tureen Dermatology based on your reviews. Went from having to wait almost a year to get in at a previous clinic to a matter of days at Tureen. That's just one of the differences. Being able to get into Tureen so quickly is awesome. They have 9 locations: Roseville, Faribault, Maplewood, Monticello, Hudson, Eagan, Farmington, Lakeville, Lindstrom. The real difference is the people. You are going to love the more than 25 board-certified providers. And Dr. Tareen is my dermatologist. I couldn't be more proud to recommend her to you. Tareen Dermatology is TAREEN dermatology.com. You can call for an appointment too. One phone number gets you to all of their offices, 651-633-6883.
Hi, Denny Long here. Join us every Saturday for the Home Improvement Show by Lindis Construction. Andy Lindis and I will be taking your home improvement questions both by phone and by text every Saturday morning at 9 o'clock here on News Talk 830 WCCO.
Get your home into the comfort zone with Metro Heating and Cooling.
Get in touch with Metro Heating and Cooling for a $99 air conditioner tune-up. Find out more at metroheating.com.
Did you know that this year marks 100 years of Minnesotans supporting our veterans through the DAV of Minnesota? Showing your support is as easy as donating your gently used clothing and household items. Visit donatedavmn.org to schedule a curbside pickup or find the nearest donation drop-off location. Whether it's a community donation center at Savers or unique thrift stores or the neon green bin in your city, you're just a few miles from helping those who've served our country. So join DAV of Minnesota's efforts to give back to those who gave so much.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Coonahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have leaf filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/radio to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
That's leaffilter.com/radio for your free gutter inspection today. See representative for warranty details. Promotion is 20% off plus a 10% senior or military discount. One discount per household.
Actual price will depend on product and subscription plan. Featured products or compounded drug products, which the FDA does not approve or verify for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. See website for details, restrictions, and important safety information.
Want a boost in and out of the bedroom? Hims has you covered. Introducing a new 2-in-1 approach to level up your game. Tadalafil for better bedroom performance and zinc for testosterone support. Put it all together and you've got what you need to turn things all the way up. Getting started is simple. Just go to hims.com/joy to start your free online visit. Through Hims, you can access ED treatments including pills, chews, and more. 100% online. No office visits, no pharmacy lines. Just fill out a simple intake form and a licensed medical provider will determine if treatment's right for you. If prescribed, it ships free and discreetly to your door. Find affordable treatment options at up to 95% less than brand names at hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy, hims.com/joy.
Time to find out how it's moving on the roads and what's moving in via the skies. This is traffic and weather together on CCO, starting with a check of the commute.
Brought to you by Chef IQ Sense, 694 eastbound near Silver Lake Road. Crash off to the right side. Things are already jammed up as you come away from Highway 100. 35W northbound, we look out as we make way toward County Road 23. We got some activity out to the right side. Should clear shortly, but in the meantime, things are slow as you come up from Lexington. If you're going to be traveling 35B northbound, got the heavy stuff in place as you come up from Highway 13 into downtown St. Paul. The Chef IQ Sense is a wireless cooking thermometer that perfectly cooks your food. The Chef IQ probe is inserted into your food and connects to the Chef IQ app to ensure you never under or overcook your food. It's that simple. Order now on chefiq.com with code word WCCO for 15% off. Trey Peterson, News Talk 830 WCCO.
Mike Lynch here, and it goes without saying that Sweet Martha's cookies at the Minnesota State Fair are the best. But did you know you can have Sweet Martha's cookies year-round? That's right. Sweet Martha's cookie dough available in all kinds of flavors in the frozen food department of your favorite grocery store.
Now, the latest conditions and the outlook for the next few days with your CCO forecast.
All right, forecast is brought to you by Sweet Martha's Cookies, where I am taking a beating on Threads today, defending the honor of Sweet Martha. More on that in the Enough segment. Tonight, partly cloudy, low of 66. Tomorrow, for the first day of the fair, 83. Friday, showers possible early, high of 80. Average high is down to 80 right now. It's 83 on CCO.
You're listening to Drive Time with DeRUSH, video streaming live on YouTube and always, and I mean always, on your radio at News Talk 830 WCCO.
All right, great crowd with us online, watching on YouTube today. We're streaming on X and on Facebook. On YouTube, it's WCCO Radio. If you click subscribe, we appreciate that. And if enough people click subscribe, Dan gets a bonus.
I do?
Nope. Yeah. Well, I don't know. What can you?
Yes, you do actually know. that's
what can you do to drive audience over at the YouTube?
What can I do?
Yeah,
not much.
Well, then what do you want a bonus for?
I didn't ask for the bonus. You offered it.
Yeah, it's true.
Oh, we should mention to people though that the plan is we're going to be still YouTubing and streaming out at the state fair.
If it works.
We'd love to have people come out and be in the audience at the state fair.
Yes.
And interact with us there. We love meeting people. Even I actually enjoy meeting audience members, which is saying something. But yeah, our goal is to have the whole stream set up out there. So if you can't get out to the fair, you can still get a little bit of a fair experience.
Love it.
That's the goal.
And we'd love to see people. Today is National Radio Day.
Yeah.
So all sorts of people from all different radio stations in town and all around the country have been posting about that on their Instagram pages or TikTok or whatever the case may be. I used to use as a joke, like when I was doing an event, I'd get up in front of the crowd and be like, I'm Jason DeRUSH. You might remember me from TV. 3 years ago, I said, I think the local TV news industry is not where it's at for the future. And I looked out and said, AM radio. So I don't make that joke anymore because I think maybe this is the future. Community, local, engaged, live as it happens. You get a two-way conversation with us. Our phone lines are open, our text line, all of the different social media ways you can interact with us. When we're wrong, you get to tell us.
Very rare that happens, though. I mean,
we get to correct it. You've been in radio for how long?
Oh, well, I've been here. It'll be, what was I figuring? 25 years next February.
How about that?
Be 25 years here. And I did, how many years before that? Probably 4 or 5 years over in Wisconsin. So
yeah,
honing in on 30 pretty quick.
My first broadcast opportunity was on the radio, high school radio station, 90.5 FM, WMTH, 8.9 watts of radiated output.
Got all the way out to the parking lot.
It was, you could have strapped 3 CB radios together and you would have had about the same radiated
pretty much
output.
Yeah.
For a high schooler, you were like,
it's high school, man.
My grandma could hear me at her house. It was amazing. And then I got a job in college working at WEMP, an AM oldies station in Milwaukee, where I was the board operator for the Milwaukee Wave indoor soccer game.
Look at you.
Mm-hmm. So we would record the play-by-play guy on reel-to-reel tape, and I would physically, with a razor blade, cut the tape.
Yep.
For the highlight
Mark
show.
it with a wax pencil first.
Mark it with a wax pencil. Yep. And that's how we did the highlight show.
Mm-hmm. You will not be surprised.
I took a brief TV detour, but it's always been radio.
You will not be surprised that when I first started working at WCCO in 2001, we were still using reel-to-reel machines to tape the Twins games and the Gopher games, and highlights were cut on tape like that. Yeah,
I don't know. It's been phenomenal. I have loved most minutes. I'm not going to say I've loved every minute. Come on, it's still a job.
Yeah,
but
there's still people involved.
It's been great. It's been great being on like a legacy radio station that's been around for 100 years. Will be around long after I'm gone. I don't know. The only reason it works is because of you guys listening or watching. If you're watching on the stream now, we appreciate it. Dan and I are grateful. This weekend, in fact, I ran into the guitarist who plays this song.
What is your next success story? At University of Maryland Global Campus, you can succeed again with more than 135 affordable online degrees and certificates to help you move your career forward. From cybersecurity and AI to healthcare and MBA, our programs help you build critical thinking, leadership, and communication skills that set you apart in today's job market. Apply now and save with no application fee through September 3rd. Visit umgc.edu to get started. Certified to operate in Virginia by Chev.
DC politicians want to enact harmful credit card mandates that could take away your cash back and rewards points. Perks that stretch your budget and make life a little easier. Losing these benefits means less money for your family's everyday essentials like gas and groceries. The perks you rely on could disappear, leaving you with higher costs and fewer options. Tell Congress to guard your card and oppose the Durbin-Marshall credit card mandates.
Paid for by Electronic Payments Coalition.
Now that I'm a dad, I can't stop thinking about what would happen to my kids if something happened to me, like losing the house or not affording college.
Yeah, that used to keep me up at night too. It's why I finally got life insurance from Ethos. It's 100% online. No medical exams, just a few health questions. I got $2 million in coverage for around $2 a day.
I never realized it was that simple. Get your free quote at ethos.com/life. That's ethos.com/life.
Rates may vary. Bill monthly. Sample rate 10-year term life policy for a 35-year-old healthy non-smoking male.
What is your next success story? At University of Maryland Global Campus, you can succeed again with more than 135 affordable online degrees and certificates to help you move your career forward. From cybersecurity and AI to healthcare and MBA, our programs help you build critical thinking, leadership, and communication skills that set you apart in today's job market. Apply now and save with no application fee through September 3rd. Visit umgc.edu to get started. Certified to operate in Virginia by Chev.
At Wealth Enhancement, we believe wealth is in the details. Our team of trusted advisors craft personalized solutions to help you achieve your financial goals. Tune in to the Your Money Show on News Talk 830 WCCO every Sunday from 8 to 9 a.m. or go to wealthenhancement.com to connect with one of our advisors.
No more. React better. News Talk 830 WCCO 1029 HD2 Minneapolis, St. Paul.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by Progressive Insurance.
I'm Cammie McCormick. Hurricane Erin is offshore, but it's a big storm and it's kicking up dangerous waves. CBS's Rob Marciano begins our coverage from the Outer Banks in North Carolina.
The rip currents are an issue. We've had dozens of rescues down at Wrightsville Beach the past couple of days. We've got beaches that are closed, not just here, but as far north as New York and New Jersey, because this storm continues to grow its wind field.
Jim Krasula has more.
Many are tempting fate, ignoring warnings to stay out of the churned up water along the East Coast. This man is surfing at Myrtle Beach, South Carolina.
The riptide isn't really too bad today. The undertow is pretty bad for swimmers, but for surfing, it's a good day.
Hurricane Erin is expected to cause significant beach erosion at many places on the East Coast.
A federal judge has rejected the government's request to unseal grand jury transcripts in the Jeffrey Epstein case. Linda Kenyon reports.
The judge stated no victims testified before the grand jury in the sex trafficking case against Epstein, who was once a friend of President Trump's. The judge also said information from the grand jury transcripts, quote, pales in comparison to the Epstein investigative information and materials in the hands of the Department of Justice, and characterized the transcript request as a diversion from the breadth and scope of the files the government already has. Trump administration officials requested the transcripts amid growing demands from the president's base. Linda Kenyon, CBS News, the White House.
Military officials from NATO held a virtual meeting today to discuss security guarantees for Ukraine. Charlie D'Agata has that.
There's already been pushback from the Kremlin, again, warning that any NATO role in Ukraine could amount to an uncontrolled escalation. So there are a lot of questions there.
Imagine boarding your next flight without having to present your boarding pass to an agent at the gate. Travel editor Peter Greenberg on the latest TSA advances.
For a long time now, both the TSA and Clear, the private operator, have been working on biometric and facial recognition. This takes it one step further and actually bypasses the need for a personal inspection by a TSA officer.
Target has a new CEO, as Matt Piper reports.
A 20-year veteran at Target who was its COO will now be CEO. It comes after its current CEO says he's stepping down in February. But some retail analysts are surprised the board did not pick a candidate from outside the company to turn things around. around. Customers have recently been complaining of messy stores with merchandise that has not reflected the expensive-looking but budget-price niche that earned the retailer the nickname Target.
Stocks finished mixed today on Wall Street. The NASDAQ was lower again for a second day. This is CBS News.
Progressive Insurance, with insurance for cars, home, boat, motorcycles, RVs, and commercial vehicles at 1-800-PROGRESSIVE and Progressive.com.
Minnesota's trusted voice every hour. Let's get you caught up with what's happening now on News Talk 830 WCCO.
Partly cloudy, 84 degrees at 4:03. I'm Laura Oakes. Charges are now filed against 3 men in connection with a string of gas station robberies in Roseville and Little Canada that prompted an emergency alert on people's cell phones over the weekend. An 18 and 21-year-old from St. Paul were arrested and are charged with first-degree robbery. Also, a 21-year-old White Bear Lake man is charged in the case. The robberies led to a chase that ended near the state fairgrounds Sunday morning. No one was injured in the incidents, though in one case, authorities say a suspect pressed a gun to the back of a clerk's head. For the first time since the assassination of House Speaker Emerita Melissa Hortman, along with her husband Mark, and the shootings of Senator John Hoffman and his wife, an advisory committee met today to consider making changes to the state capitol. Committee member and Chief Justice of the Minnesota Supreme Court, Natalie Hudson.
It's difficult to be brought together under such circumstances, but moments like this demand action. They demand that we face security risks with care, clarity, and resolve.
The committee is charged with balancing safety concerns with public access to the Capitol. Any new measures like a potential weapons screening system would require legislative approval. Another Republican jumps into the Minnesota governor's race.
I'm leading the fight to stop the fraud and hold government accountable. I'm working to strengthen our schools and support our police. As governor, I'll stop the insanity, bring back common sense, and make Minnesota work for you.
Maple Grove State Representative Kristin Robbins announcing her intentions in a campaign video today. The chair of the House Fraud Prevention Committee taking direct aim at Governor Tim Walz on a host of issues, from taxes to fraud to transgender athletes. Walz has yet to announce whether or not he's running for a third term. And Representative Robbins will join Jason coming up a little later this hour at 4:35. Target's CEO making it official today. Brian Cornell says he will step down on February 1st. COO Michael Fidelki will take over. The 20-year veteran is credited with overhauling the company's supply network and expanding stores and digital services while cutting costs. A lot on the line in downtown St. Paul these days as city leaders tout some recent successes while acknowledging more needs to be done.
St. Paul's Downtown Improvement District is marking a successful year with downtown ambassadors removing 350,000 pieces of litter and conducting nearly 600 welfare checks. However, the city's progress is being bogged down by multiple road construction projects, including a stubborn sinkhole that has left residents frustrated. Despite these issues, Mayor Melvin Carter remains optimistic.
So when we establish high quality, brand new looking state of the art infrastructure downtown, whether that's our streets, our parks, our bike lanes, then that invites investment.
He says while the dust of investment will continue to linger for a little while, a number of major projects will be wrapped up in the next couple of weeks. In downtown St. Paul, I'm Taylor Rivera. News Talk 830 WCCO.
And WCCO News Time is 4:06.
Time to find out how it's moving on the roads and what's moving in via the skies. This is traffic and weather together on CCO, starting with a check of the commute.
Got some heavy stuff out there. 52 northbound is make way toward Concord. Got a multi-car crash working. Right 2 lanes are shut down. Traffic is jammed up as make way toward the scene of the wreck. 35 northbound watching slowdowns there from pretty much Highway 13 all the way up toward Highway 36. Cedar South jammed up between 494 and the River Bridge. 35 E rather 35W southbound as you make way through Burnsville, some slowing between 106th Street and Burnsville Parkway. Jerry Peterson, News Talk 830 WCCO.
Washburn McCreevy Funeral Chapels and Cremation Services has been providing compassionate and personalized service for over 160 years. Honor your loved one and ensure your own wishes are met. Call 612-377-2203 or visit washburnmccreevy.com.
Now, the latest conditions and the outlook for the next few days with your CCO forecast.
Brought to you by Washburn McGreevy Funeral, Cremation, and Pre-Planning Services. Here's WCCO TV Chief Meteorologist Chris Schaefer.
Another quiet night tonight as we fall back to 66. Tomorrow, the last of the summer-like days. Partly cloudy, still a bit humid with a high of 83. Some rain showers are possible early Friday. That clears out. The clouds will follow, and so will the humidity. Expect a high around 80. Then a fall-like vibe this weekend. Breezy, cool, highs in the upper 60s to low 70s.
Partly cloudy right now, 84 at News Talk 830 WCCO.
If it's on your mind, if it's in the air, if it's on the roads, it's on your radio. News Talk 830 WCCO. Good questions. Topics you'll probably talk about at dinner. Places to go for dinner. This is the Ride Home Reimagined. Welcome to Drive Time with DeRUSH. Now, here's Jason DeRUSH.
A simple scenario. You've got a flight from Minneapolis to Los Angeles. This flight is at 11 a.m. from our airport. What time do you show up at the airport? 651-461-9226. This was the subject of an argument between my wife and me last Thursday. When did I go to? Friday. I don't even know what day I was supposed to go to the airport, Dan, so I don't know where my thought on this, why anyone would even care.
That just means Alyssa wins the argument right there.
Just because. What time do you show up? Are you an early or a late person? 651-461-9226. I posted this on my LinkedIn, and it has 60,000 impressions and more than 200 comments. Because we all have our way, right? Our way of travel, and our way is the right way. Our way is the right way. It's true of almost everything. 11 o'clock flight. So you have to back this up a little bit, right? Like if you're, and this is domestic. The reason I say LA is because, if you're going to Greece, or maybe you're joining me in 2026 on a Colette vacation to Ireland. Ooh. It's a little different, right? But if you're going to our airport, 11 a.m. departure, I would like to show up at ideally, I'd like to show up at 10:45. You know this about me, Dan.
I do.
I am not an early bird.
I'm not either.
No.
I mean, not early morning bird.
Right.
I do prefer to be early to a destination than late.
Okay.
But I would have some questions to answer
right.
this question. Number one, are we talking about Terminal 1 or Terminal 2?
In this scenario, it was Terminal 1.
Okay, 9 o'clock.
9 o'clock?
2 hours. For Terminal 1, 2 hours.
So I'd have to leave my house at 8:15 for an 11 a.m. flight. And
you used to get up at 2 in the morning. I mean, 8:15 is doable.
I've changed.
Clearly.
It's too early. 9 a.m. is way too early.
But then there's no stress getting through security, right? Because no matter how long the line is, you're there plenty early. You're going to be fine.
I have pre-check. I do have pre-check.
Okay. And if you get through the line quickly, now you got time to go, do a little shopping, get snacks for the flight, maybe grab us a quick breakfast at one of the fine shops there at MSP, and you're in, and there's no stress whatsoever. You're just there. You're ready to go. Beautiful thing.
I never have stress at the airport because I glide through life expecting. Oh, you think
I've seen you have stress at the airport, but that was a special occasion, and so that's. But never.
That's
I
true.
just got to put an asterisk on never.
That's fair. Okay, that's fair. I almost never have stress at the airport. Dan maybe saw the one time. There's one other time in my life I actually missed a flight once.
Oh,
man, I got so confused once. I was flying through Chicago, and I was so. Do you ever just get so discombobulated that you're like, So we arrive at the airport. I get off the plane, and I freak out that I'm at the wrong Chicago airport.
Well, that's not good.
I'm like, did I book my flight wrong? I'm at Midway. I should be at O'Hare. And I was so confused. And so I get in line to book a new flight. And while I'm in line, I realize, no, I was at the right airport.
Oof.
And then I had a sigh of relief. And I'm like, I'm going to go get a cup of coffee. And so I wait in line for coffee. And as I wait in line for coffee, they closed the door on the boarding process. I missed it by like 30 seconds.
Oh, no.
Not great.
Not good.
Not great. I think getting to the airport at 10 o'clock for an 11 o'clock flight is fine. Now, if you have no bags to check, for sure.
Oh, yeah.
1 hour before the flight, fine. That's pushing it.
But if you like got either printed your boarding pass at home or you've got it on the phone, and you can literally walk right into the airport,
pre-checking
up to the security. If you're pre-check, you're right. Yeah,
it usually takes no more than 5 minutes at our airport.
Yeah,
it's pretty quick. But I do tend to fly out of Terminal 2 more than Terminal 1. And Terminal 2. Now this scenario was Delta, so it was Terminal 1.
Okay, that's a different animal.
Texters, my wife is like Jason. It drives me crazy. I don't know the answer. I'm not suggesting wife swapping for trips.
That's good. That's good. You're not suggesting
that. Jason, 2 hours ahead of time, so 9 o'clock. Another texter. I would be there at 9. Another texter. Early to the airport, less overall stress. 612er depends on where you're flying. Why does it depend where you're flying? What's the difference? It's the same bit if it's domestic.
I assume that means, well, either maybe you're packing differently depending on where you're flying to, or
maybe.
It does where you're flying to determine which terminal. Because again, like for me, if it was a Terminal 2 flight, then I'd be more like an hour and a half instead of 2 hours.
9:30, says a texter. So the airport actually weighed in on this on my LinkedIn post. And the airport, now what's funny when you ask this question is that people have a real like rubric of other questions that come, right? So it's, are you pre-check or are you clear? Do you have a bag or are you just carrying on? What do you got? So the airport, this is what's funny about the social media world. The airport, and you're like, first of all, how did the airport even find my post? Like, I didn't tag them or anything.
The airport knows everything.
So I see this notification from the Metropolitan Airports Commission. And if you're watching on the live stream, you can see their post. The correct time to show up at the airport is whatever Alyssa says. or 2 hours before, whichever is longer. Now,
that's fantastic.
I also didn't, in my post, what's impressive is the airports commission either like looked or they just know my wife's name.
Well, aren't the Illuminati headquartered underneath the Denver airport? I mean, the airport people, they know all.
My post just said I was asking to resolve a marital point of disagreement.
And that's how the airport people responded.
Yeah, I mean, the correct answer is whatever Alyssa wants.
Exactly.
But in 2 weeks, I'm flying to Chicago to take the first like empty nester trip. Alyssa's going first for work, and then I'm going Wednesday morning. But because I'm by myself, well, see, I do have mixed feelings about this because I like our airport. And it is nice to sit down. Like we sat down at French Meadow. I had some avocado toast, very millennial of me.
Good Lord.
I like avocado
I know
toast.
you do.
All right. I know like that's the Gen Zers canceled avocado toast. I like avocado toast. You can take the avocado toast out of my cold, dead hand.
Or 17, that'll be a liner.
I'm not giving it up. I don't care that the Gen Zers don't like it. Jonathan says I'd rather have a root canal than fly. Well, I don't mind flying. I like our airport a lot. There are places, there's a good coffee shop. There are a couple good coffee shops. There's one, I think it's called Roasting Plant Coffee, where they've got the coffee in like these pneumatic tubes, like you're at the old days of going through the drive-through at the bank, and you'd put the check in the thing and hit the button and go. But the coffee beans get delivered through those tubes.
Okay.
That's cool. That's fresh coffee, Dan Cook. Sometimes I just want to be entertained a little bit. All right. Keep the text coming. We are 10 minutes away from talking to Republican State Representative Kristin Robbins, who announced today she's going to run for governor. Her announcement video is mostly about how, in her view, Tim Walz is failing. What if Tim Walz isn't running? We'll ask that, among other questions, to Kristin Robbins in about 10 minutes. Drive Time with DeRUSH here on CCO.
Listening to Drive Time with DeRUSH on News Talk 830 WCCO.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Lanny went to college and racked up huge debt.
A little bit over $100,000.
For a degree he couldn't use? Now what?
I had a friend that went to My Computer Career.
They even helped him get hired immediately after graduation.
One of the things I love about IT is that you can work from anywhere you want.
You could become an IT pro in just months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI with zero experience at mycomputercareer.edu. My Computer Career, an elite CompTIA certification partner.
It worked for me, and I know it can work for you.
This is one student's experience. Individual results vary.
Advantage Seamless Gutters is now Advantage Home Pros. New look, same pros. Still locally owned and now taking care of all your gutter and roofing needs. Don't spend your weekends on a ladder cleaning your gutters when you could be spending time with family and planning that summer trip. Trust your local gutter pros, Advantage Home Pros. Now your local custom roofing pros. With the highest quality workmanship and materials, our trained, knowledgeable local pros can handle it all. Trust the pros. AdvantageHomePros.com.
Heading out for the weekend? Lucky you!
Don't forget to stop at Thielen Meats of Pierce for some melt-in-your-mouth moments.
High quality beef.
Fresh and smoked sausages and brats.
Home smoked bacon.
All natural chicken.
A great selection of fish and seafood.
Visit us at ThielenMeats.com.
We've got the cuts that'll make your meal.
Call to order ahead and pick up on your way to the lake.
You'll be the hit of the party.
No meal's complete without Thielen Meats
of Pierce.
Are you having trouble hearing? Hearing loss can devastate the quality of your life. Now, there's an affordable fix for you or your loved one. Rated the best hearing aids of 2025 by Forbes Health, Audion Hearing has the highest quality hearing aids at the lowest prices, starting at just $98 a pair.
I actually like them better than my old $5,000 hearing aid.
I could not believe how my hearing and life changed.
Join over 1 million happy customers by going to audionhearing.com. That's AUDIEN hearing.com.
When you haven't found love, it can feel like everyone else has. It's in every movie, every song, and all the PDA. Looking for love sucks. Thankfully, California Psychics can give you the guidance you need to find the one. We guarantee if your reading isn't life-changing, it's free. And new customers receive 20 minutes for just $20. Visit CaliforniaPsychics.com and experience the joy of certainty. California Psychics.
Jason DeRUSH.
I like it fast. I like it.
You like it to clip along.
Like, let it rip.
On News Talk 830 WCCO.
So last night, I was in, and I still am not quite sure how to say it. Those of you who live in the West Metro community on Lake Minnetonka, is it Excelsior or is it Excelsior? I went to dinner for the second time in 2 weeks in wherever I was. Excelsior. How could we find out, Dan? How about could you do this for me? Could we call Excelsior Brewing Company? Could you call them right now? Dan's going to call. And you could text in at 651-461-9226 or better call. Because, I don't know how to say it. And I went to this restaurant, Vagabondo, which was easier to say than the name of the city I was in. And Vagabondo is the new restaurant from David Fema. I was at Mirabelle before that.
We cold call him, or am I supposed to explain the bit here?
I don't know. Should we just cold call him?
Why not?
Are
Answer
we
the
allowed
phone.
Are we allowed to do that?
You have to tell them when we put them on.
They're
Hey,
on
this
the
is
air.
who we are. And you're
all right.
on
I
the
don't want to get sued, but let's try here. Can I hear the dial tone on the air? I was like that. That's quality. That's like radio shenanigans. It's National Radio Day. We should be embracing what we are. Where the host gets a dumb idea.
Call failure for account 80DCD.
Oh, call failure.
Helps if you dial the right number.
I mean, this is not how we usually do it, right? But I just don't know how to say it. And I asked at the restaurant, I asked Lori Fema, I'm like, do you know how to say it? She's like, actually, I do not know how to say it. Are we dialing? This is it.
Thank you for calling Excelsior Brewing Company, located at 421
Excelsior.
3rd Street in Excelsior, Minnesota.
That's a
Our
double
current
Excelsior.
taproom hours are Tuesdays from 4 to 9 p.m.,
Okay.
Wednesdays and Thursdays from 4 to 10 p.m., Fridays and Saturdays from 12 to 11 p.m., and Sundays from 12 to 6 p.m.
Okay.
Every Tuesday, we have live music starting
All right,
at 5.
we're going to hear their whole life story. Nobody answers the dang phone anymore. Who else could we call? Who else should we call at Excelsior? Excelsior. Oh, Brad Lane, the brain wizard of WCCO.
I live there.
Oh,
Why didn't you ask me?
Well, I didn't know you. I don't
Excelsior.
I've never been invited to your house, so I don't
I haven't either.
know. You haven't either, Dan?
No. I think that's what the full bit
Huh?
was. I think that's what this is really all about.
It's Excelsior.
It's Excelsior. Excelsior Brewing Company. I live in Excelsior.
Why isn't it Excelsior?
I don't know.
I would
Would you like for me to change it?
Yes, I would prefer it to be Excelsior.
It's not spelled that way. It's not Excelsior.
I don't know. Doesn't the
Excelsior Brewing
SIOR,
Company.
doesn't that
No,
sort of?
No.
No?
No.
Are you sure?
I'm positive. I live there. I've lived there for 20
Well,
years.
Just because you live there, let's check with Beth. Because just because Brad lives there doesn't, he's not from there originally. You're not a native Excelsioronian.
God, you're terrible.
Beth, how do you say it?
Excelsior.
Excelsior. Do people say Excelsior a lot?
I don't think so.
Uh-oh. Huh. So, Beth, I just would like to say thank you for calling in. Would you like to share your bona fides, why you are qualified to tell me the correct way to say Excelsior?
I grew up in around Minnetonka. I grew up in Minnetonka.
Yeah. So for some reason, I think it's because Beth is a woman. I believe Beth more than I believe Brad. I don't know. I don't know why that is. You sound very trustworthy, Beth.
I am.
What was the best thing about growing up around Lake Minnetonka?
Well, a lot of people would say the lake, but it's really not. A lake to me is up north and in the woods. I mean, Lake Minnetonka is not where it's at.
No. Wow. That's a hot take, Beth.
That's bold.
Lake
bold.
Minnetonka overrated. Did you ever like have a drunken Big Island scenario?
No, but I had a lot of boyfriends with Chris Craft cruisers and big boats and whatever.
So you just were surrounded by too many. Can I say? I don't know if I can say.
You
that.
know, we all know what you're thinking.
You
so
know
yeah,
what I'm
you don't
thinking.
have to say it.
It's
You know what I'm saying? Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I know.
It was too much of that. Yeah, I get it. Well, Beth, thank you. I will stop messing this up because I think I've been saying Excelsior, which is wrong.
It's Excelsior.
All right, Beth, thank you. Go to Vagabondo. Brad,
In Excelsior.
In Excelsior. I don't know why I always thought it was Excelsior. I've been here.
I don't either.
Well, I guess how would I know? Are there other words? What else am I?
Maple Groove.
You realize you have set back the campaign for you to be one of us by years at this point.
Yeah. Julie from Excelsior has lived there for 35 years. She said the best thing is the ability to walk to and play in the Commons. In the Excelsior Commons. I don't know what that is.
The Commons?
Yeah. What's
Sure.
that?
So
What's
where everything kind of meets up. I've umpired many baseball games in the Commons.
Shocking.
How do I say scissor? I say scissor. Excelsior.
You don't say shizzer?
I don't know.
You just said it again, though.
There must
it's Excelsior.
be. There must
stop saying
There's
Excelsior.
No There's no age.
How do you say? What's the other? There's another city. It's a South Metro city that people.
Edina?
No, people mess up. Rosemount, and they want to say
Rosemont,
which is a
Rosemont.
suburban Chicago city, Rosemont. But here it's Rosemount.
Rosemount, but it's isn't it spelled differently?
No, it's spelled Mount. It's spelled that. Yeah.
I thought it was spelled differently in Chicago, but yes.
Oh, yes, in Chicago it's Mont.
The Rosemont Horizon.
It is different.
So,
yes. All right. Well, we just spent a segment learning how to pronounce.
Happy Radio Day.
And that's how you pronounce city names. This could be an ongoing segment. We could just pick another city. What do you think, boss? Oh, he's walking out.
Oh, look at the time.
JD, once you feel Bay Lake, you know that Lake Minnetonka is costume jewelry. Well, it is true. Like Lake Minnetonka, I used to go out there on a boat with Alyssa's family back when we were dating. And I feel like you could boat around Lake Minnetonka on an 18-footer, no problem. And today, with all the wake surfers and the big boats, it's so choppy on Lake Minnetonka.
Mm-hmm.
It's not as enjoyable. Now, I did spend one night on Bay Lake where Alyssa, in the middle of the night, who is back here at home, is looking at Find My iPhone because it's midnight, and she's curious where I am. And I was in the middle. I wasn't in the middle of the lake. I was on a boat on the lake. And Bay Lake may be my favorite lake right now. How about that? All right, we're going. I know how to say Kristin Robbins. I can pronounce that, and she's from Maple Grove. We will talk with the newest Republican candidate for governor in just a minute here on Drive Time.
This is Drive Time with DeRUSH on News Talk 830 WCCO.
All right, State Fair is almost here, and our friends at Minnetonka, friends at the lake, they want you to go to the piggy barn. It's Jason here for our friends at Minnesota Pork, the Minnesota Pork Board, 3,000 family farmers every corner of the state. Are you going to the Oink booth? Are you going to the Oink booth? You have to go to the Oink booth out at the State Fair. You need the little pink pig ears, but more importantly, you need your chance to get out there and meet one of these family farmers. Learn about life on the farm. Learn about life on the farm, because that is what it's all about. When you go to your grocery store, your butcher shop, and you're picking what you're going to have for dinner, you want to pick something that's from here, something that's supporting our communities, our neighborhood, and the flavor of Minnesota pork is so good. Taste what pork can do for you. Get that pork chop on a stick. Oh, baby. Go to your butcher shop. Go to your grocery store. I will see you at the fair. I will be at the Oink booth. Let's have Minnesota pork for dinner tonight.
Through every pitch, every trade, every wait, who's that guy moment.
0-2. Struck him out. The 1-2-3 inning for Hatch.
Who's hot?
That's going to be a base hit and an RBI. Luke Keishel.
Who's next?
Gone! 3-run homer. There's your magic. Clemens has tied it up.
Baseball's boldest experiment plays out here.
The Twins won't quit. Trevor Larnach with his third hit of the night.
On News Talk 830 WCCO.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. We're dedicated to serving people 50 and up like me. Our needs are different. Big Wireless wants us in an unlimited plan, but if you're not using all that data, you're probably getting used. At Consumer Cellular, we're focused on affordable, reliable plans, including data that suits your needs, not ours. Our plans start at just $20, and you'll get the best customer service in the business.
Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com/facts. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional facts.
This Labor Day weekend, we're celebrating Bob's Discount Furniture's 200th store milestone with the entire Bob's family across the country. For more than 30 years, we've believed everyone deserves the home. Everyday low prices on furniture, mattresses, and more to over 200 locations from coast to coast and counting. Not to mention free treats for the whole family in our cafes. Celebrate Bob's Discount Furniture's 200 store milestone this Labor Day weekend.
Oh, my Bob!
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Coonahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have Leaf Filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection. Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/radio to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
That's leaffilter.com/radio for your free gutter inspection today. See representative for warranty details. Promotion is 20% off plus a 10% senior or military discount. One discount per household.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6986. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-6986. That's 800-575-6986. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Time to find out how it's moving on the roads and what's moving in via the skies. This is traffic and weather together on CCO, starting with a check of the commute.
Brought to you by Chef IQ Sense. Good news, North 52 near Concord. That accident blocking the right two lanes has been taken care of. Things a little bit sluggish yet as you make way between Plato and 94. East 94, watching slowdowns there. Franklin Avenue into downtown St. Paul. Highway 100 jammed up both directions between 50th and 66th Street. You're going to find slowdowns on 169 southbound, 394 to Highway 62. The Chef IQ Sense is a wireless cooking thermometer that perfectly cooks your food. The Chef IQ probe is inserted into your food and connects to the Chef IQ app to ensure you never under or overcook your food. It's that simple. Order now on chefiq.com with code word WCCO for 15% off. Trey Peterson, News Talk 830 WCCO.
If you have trees to trim or need tree removal, call an ISA certified arborist. Call the CCO Land Company I use. B&M Tree Service, 1-800-569-9034, or get on the web, bnmtree.com.
Now, the latest conditions and the outlook for the next few days with your CCO forecast.
B&M Tree Service bringing the forecast. Here's Chris Schaefer.
A partly cloudy sky tonight, cooling back to 66. Still feels like summer tomorrow. A bit humid with a high of 83 with a mix of sun and clouds. A cold front comes through overnight, so some rain showers are possible early Friday. They will scoot. The clouds will follow. It will be less humid by the afternoon. Still a high up around 80. Then it's like fall. It will be breezy this weekend and cool both days. Low 70s on Saturday, upper 60s. That's it for highs on Sunday.
83 in the state capital of St. Paul here on CCO.
You're listening to Drive Time with DeRUSH. Video streaming live on YouTube and always on your radio at News HBO WCCO.
But a campaign video came out today. The news that Maple Grove Republican State Representative Kristin Robbins is running for governor. And the representative is with us on the John Schuster Coldwell Banker Hotline. Kristin, thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me on.
So we've talked many times before in relation to your work fighting fraud as part of the anti-fraud committee in the State House. Your profile certainly has risen because of your work on that issue. Is that what drove you to say, you know what, I'm going to jump in? What made you say, I believe that I could be a good governor for Minnesota?
Fraud is definitely a key part of it. My work this year on the fraud committee has really opened my eyes to why we need a new governor. Tim Walz has allowed rampant fraud in our state and has done nothing to hold the agencies accountable or to stop it on the front end. And so that really probably was what pushed me over the edge. But I've, been very concerned about a lot of the policies over the last 7 years. Minnesotans have been saddled with higher taxes, huge debt, unsafe communities, much lower scores for reading and math, and the $1 billion in fraud. So there's a host of reasons why I think we need a new governor, but fraud certainly was one of the key issues that pushed me into it.
I have been concerned that Republicans running for statewide office in Minnesota are more interested in talking about the past than they are in talking about the future. When you look ahead and say, okay, like your video today had a lot of discussions about areas of policy that you think Governor Tim Walz has failed in. What is the positive vision? Which it doesn't need to be rainbows and sunshine, but what does the future of Minnesota look like in your mind? What would you do?
Absolutely. No, I'm very positive about Minnesota. We have an amazing state. I was blessed to raise our 3 daughters here with my husband. It's been an incredible place for our family, but I want that for future generations. And everywhere I go, Minnesotans are fed up. They don't feel like the state is working for them anymore. And we need government to not be controlling our lives. We need government to be working for Minnesotans so that they can make their lives better. So the first thing we have to do is we have to get our fiscal house in order. Under Governor Tim Walz, he took an $18 billion surplus, raised taxes $11 billion, and left us with a $6 billion debt. So we have to get a handle on the growth of government and spending because we cannot afford it. So that's, priority number one. Secondly, we have to stop the fraud on the front end. Up to $1 billion, probably more, of our tax money has been stolen by fraudsters. And Acting Attorney General Bill Thompson is doing a great job prosecuting the criminals, but nothing is doing to stop it on the front end before the money goes out the door. So we need wholesale reform in these agencies so that the internal controls that should be in place are actually utilized so we can catch the fraud. And then the next thing we have to do is just get back to the basics. Minnesotans want to be able to afford their lives, have some left over. They want good schools where right now 50% of the kids in Minnesota can't read and do math at grade level. And it's higher for students who are Black and Latino. That is criminal. We are not setting our kids up for success in the real world if they can't pass these basic achievement markers. So we need to get back to basics. And
so what is it? How does that look? What is the state? What does the state do? What's the policy from your perspective that gets those scores back on track?
Right. I think we have to have laser focus on we've started a little bit in the legislature, but I've had a bill on this for 6 years and it hasn't been fully implemented. And we need to get to the science of reading where kids, it's basically sort of how we were taught with phonemic awareness, but they call it science of reading now. And we have to make sure schools have the tools to implement that. And then we also have to stop sort of all the ancillary things schools are focused on, a lot of woke ideology, a lot of other things. And we have to get back to basic skills. And once kids show mastery and we test kids and they show it, then we can move them on.
Didn't we already? I know like St. Paul has already started this. I feel like it was in like the mid 2020, maybe like 3 years ago or so, there was a law that overhauled the way we do reading in Minnesota. I think most people agree with what you're saying. I'm just questioning whether we've already done that, the new reading law.
No, we haven't. So unfortunately, the rollout was so, and I get it's expensive, but we are spending so much money in schools and it's not getting to the classrooms. And so what they're doing is basically we have a whole group of teachers who were taught the old way, or the most recent way, whole language, which doesn't work. And so we have to retrain the teachers and it's expensive. So in my bill, we were going to put teachers into a summer training program for 2 weeks and really give them intensive training in the science of reading and phonemic awareness so that they could go back to their classrooms ready to implement it. And that's expensive. We were going to have to pay teachers for their time. But instead, they decided to not fund it, an unfunded mandate. Everyone's always like, what are the unfunded mandates? This is one of them. And so then the teachers were getting one professional development day every couple months. Well, it would take 3 or 4 years over multiple months and years, and teachers aren't then incorporating it in the classroom. So we're not implementing it properly. And that's what we need. We need laser focus on literacy so that our kids have the tools. By the time they get this fully implemented the way the bill is passed, we'll have lost another 3 or 4 classes of students. We have to focus on this.
Kristin Robbins is with us. She is joining the Republican group running for governor. Other candidates likely to still join the mix. We'll see. You already are being attacked by the DFL and the Democratic Governors Association. And one of the points that they're bringing up is comments you made during the debate on the Universal School Meals Program, the program that went from means testing, school lunch and school breakfast, and went to just saying, nope, just like we provide books, we're providing meals. Would you, as governor, support ending that program? Would you support changing it? What's your view on that?
It's been very popular, which I understand, but it's popular because the state has been subsidizing it. And when the state money runs out, which they added 2 more years on it this year because they were afraid of letting it run out and having the schools bear the cost. When the state money runs out, the full cost of that goes on the schools. And again, it will take money out of other priorities. So if schools choose to put it in their budget and make this their priority, great. But I think we need to give schools the funding and flexibility they need to decide where they need the money to go. And right now, all these statewide mandates don't work for our school districts.
So that, to me, that sounds like you want to roll that back then, as far as it being a state-funded situation.
I think it should be up to the schools. So if this is a huge priority for parents and schools, they can certainly use their money for it. But I don't think it should be mandated from the state. And we've seen already the Prior Lake, I think it's Prior Lake, opted out because they looked at the numbers and they realized they can't afford it. So they rolled it back. And already in Minnesota, just to remind everyone, students of low income got free and reduced lunch based on the federal poverty guidelines. And students in Minnesota were not going hungry. We had plenty of programs, and even schools, I know schools in my district who, if they had students who they thought they were in need, they were packing backpacks, sending food home for the weekend. schools were already very laser focused on making sure students had adequate nutrition, not only for the school day, but for their lives. And so this is a very popular program. I get it. I used to have to make lunches for my kids, and, people appreciate not having to do that. But the cost, there is no such thing as a free lunch, as you know, and I'm an economist. That's what we always say, right? So people are either going to pay for it by other things not being prioritized in their school budgets, or by increases in their property tax when the state funding runs out. And so that's a decision school boards and districts should make individually for what their community wants.
All right. Kristin Robbins with it. I mean, to be clear, that is rolling back the program. That's going back to the way it was before, which, that's fine, just so people know.
Schools can opt out right now. Prior Lake did it.
Sure.
But it's just that when the state money runs out,
right,
schools will have to make the decision.
Yeah, that's how it was before, though, right? That's how schools always could make that decision if they wanted to. The difference is that the state.
But nobody did it when there was no state money involved. Right.
Kristin Robbins is with us. Another question that I think people will wonder, and part of it is you were the state chair for Nikki Haley's presidential campaign. It's been reported that you removed posts on X that you have made about that campaign. Is that true? Did you take those posts down?
Yes. When I supported Nikki, I thought she'd be a great president. But when she lost, I supported Donald Trump. And so I just felt like that would be a distraction. Everyone knows I supported Nikki. Everyone knows I supported the president when she stepped out of the race. So I don't think it's that important.
I don't think it's that important either, but it is goes to the bigger question. I think that people wonder if a Governor Robbins is in Minnesota. We have seen red state governors around the country, for example, sending their National Guard troops or offering their National Guard troops to support President Trump in his mission, for example, to cut crime down in D.C. Would you see yourself as a governor sending Minnesotans off to other cities to try to fight crime? If Donald Trump asked for that?
I mean, I'm not going to deal in hypotheticals, but what I can say is that I would want Minnesota National Guard troops to be used to protect our cities. And Tim Walz failed on that. He waited 3 days to send in the National Guard to stop the riots and the burning and looting in Minneapolis. And we lost dozens, if not tens of dozens of businesses along Lake Street. Families were devastated, are still trying to recover, and he let the 3rd precinct burn.
Would you support
to use the National Guard?
Would you support using Minnesota National Guard troops to, say, patrol the streets of downtown Minneapolis?
I would support using them if there was a crisis like we had after the death of George Floyd, and Governor Walz refused to do it, and the consequences for Minneapolis are still there. I went down there after the riots, and I talked to business owners. I talked to families. They set up their own militias. They set up their own fire brigades because the state was absent. That community was so devastated by his lack of leadership, and I would not wait to send in the troops, the National Guard, if we needed them.
Kristin Robbins, day one. It's a long campaign. We'll see. Do you want to run against Tim Walz, or would you prefer to run against one of the other Democrats who have been mentioned around?
I don't want to run against anyone. I'll run against whoever they put up. I want to run for Minnesota. I'm running to fight for Minnesotans so regular Minnesotans can have an incredible life. Their kids get well educated. Our communities are safe. And we have a state that works for Minnesotans, not against them.
Kristin, we'll talk again. Thank you so much for the time. We appreciate it.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Representative Kristin Robbins joining the Republican group running for office. We will break and be right back. Your feedback, welcome at 651-461-9226.
This is Drive Time with DeRUSH on News Talk 830 WCCO.
State Fair is tomorrow. Join Livia the next day It's Jason here for Livia Weight Control Center. I have been on Livia and at the fair, and you can do it. You can do it. Livia has all sorts of advice, terrific suggestions on how you can enjoy the state fair and still achieve your weight loss goals. And right now, Livia has a tremendous deal. If you reach out at Livia.com or 855-GO-LIVIA, they're going to hook you up. If you're interested in GOP-1 weight loss medication, they got you covered. And right now, those meds are $149 a month. They start at $149 a month. Amazing. If you want the nutrition plan, the award-winning nutrition plan that helped me lose 45 pounds and keep that off, 50% off the plan. Got to join now, though. These summer deals are just like summer itself, fleeting, almost over. So do it. Feel your best. You can lose up to 10 pounds or more in your first 2 weeks. Livia is at Livia.com, Livea.com, or 855-GO-LIVIA.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. We're dedicated to serving people 50 and up like me. Our needs are different. Big Wireless wants us in an unlimited plan, but if you're not using all that data, you're probably getting used. At Consumer Cellular, we're focused on affordable, reliable plans, including data that suits your needs, not ours. Our plans start at just $20, and you'll get the best customer service in the business.
Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com/facts. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional facts.
This Labor Day weekend, we're celebrating Bob's Discount Furniture's 200th store milestone with the entire Bob's family across the country. For more than 30 years, we've believed everyone deserves the home they love. That's why we brought our everyday low prices on furniture, mattresses, and more to over 200 locations from coast to coast and counting. Not to mention free treats for the whole family in our cafes. Celebrate Bob's Discount Furniture's 200 store milestone this Labor Day weekend.
Oh, my Bob!
I've been turning wrenches for nearly 20 years, and for the longest time, it was chaos. Communication was spotty, PMs got missed, downtime skyrocketed, and accountability practically impossible. Then we switched to Maintain X. Total game changer. Now the whole operation runs through the Maintain X app. Work orders, safety procedures, parts inventory. I manage it all in one place with real-time updates. No more delays, no more surprises.
Maintain X helps maintenance teams run smarter, faster, and more efficiently. Thousands of frontline teams.
Built to last right here in Minnesota. This year, explore fresh designs and new rich wood grain colors. Visit By the Yard at the fair. Get a sneak peek, too, at showrooms in Woodbury, Maple Grove, or Jordan. Remember, with By the Yard, life is better outdoors.
612 Saturdays are back at Target Field. Enjoy $6 drinks, $1 snacks, and $2 food when gates open.
I'm from the 952. Can I enjoy 612 Saturdays?
The 952 is welcome.
I'm from the 218.
218, 651. Everyone is welcome at 612 Saturdays.
I'm from the 313. How about me?
That's Detroit.
Yeah.
Sure. Enjoy the weekend wind-up with 612 Saturdays presented by Carbliss. $6 drinks, $1 snacks, and $2 food. When we're together, the Twins rise as one.
other homes were visited. The largest manhunt in the history of Minnesota to find this killer. But it takes 2 months for the Advisory Committee on Capital Security to come together and have a hearing. Whoa. They did meet today. The urgency and the fear for elected officials, for staff members, even though they weren't attacked at their place of work, they were attacked. And we all were attacked in a way. What to do with our state capitol? It's tough. Metal detectors. Already we've seen the number of access points reduced. Will there be metal detectors? Will guns be allowed in the Capitol? Minnesota is one of about 10 states that don't require any security screening. No metal detector, no x-ray machine. And if you have a permit to carry, you can bring a gun inside the Capitol complex. I just have so many mixed feelings on this. The odds that someone who would come into the Capitol with intent to kill would be someone with a permit seems almost zero to me, the odds of that. But having no security screening also seems ludicrous. Hopefully it does not take another 2 or 3 or 4 months to create change at the Capitol. Next up, it is the eve of the state fair, and what will be the thing? What will be the hot item at the state fair? I think it is going to be soft serve beer. Soft serve beer. I know what you're thinking. Huh? Soft serve beer?
How early are you going to try that tomorrow?
Well, it is about a 4.9% ABV soft serve cone. Absolute craziness. Let's talk to the man at Lulu's Public House who innovated this soft serve raspberry sour ice cream. And that is Charlie Burrows, who is with us on the John Schuster Coldwell Banker Hotline. Charlie, do you think this thing is going to be the hit?
So I've turned on the mic. I turned on the mic on my laptop just to try and give some sound.
Give something.
But obviously everything we're saying right now is going to YouTube. So just be aware.
Can't log in, everybody.
Yeah, so it's multi-factor authentication, which means we can type in a thing, a code goes to a guy, and then we got to get the guy to send us the code, and communication's taking a long time. So in the meantime, this is all we can do.
I started to do a lot of web searching and found some people that have done something similar and found out how they did it. And
Yeah, it's kind of like the YouTube crazy puzzle thing. Yeah.
Redco here in the Twin Cities, and they have soft serve equipment. We got product to them with our proprietary mix, and we put them together, and bingo, we hit it right away. It just turned out incredible. We're gold.
Charlie, does it taste like beer, or does it taste more like a sorbet, or how do you describe the flavor?
It has beer flavor to it. It's a lighter beer flavor. You taste the raspberry. It's got a little bit of sweetness behind it, but it's beer.
It's a little more complicated than that, Jonathan, because we go through a system to get to YouTube, so you can't just set the YouTube settings because we're farming it through this other program, and it's this other program we're trying to get logged into. So
and I was thinking these 3 big guys sitting there eating a beer cone, And I thought to myself, typically they'd have a beer, a cup of beer in their hand, and to watch them sit there eating a cone was kind of it was just a different look.
It's pretty crazy. Charlie Burrows is with us. Lulu's. It is the eve of the state fair. Last year, the Deep Fried Ranch was a huge hit for you. This year, I got to tell you, when I look at the list, I mean, definitely the soft serve royal raspberry beer stands out. When you look at the ingredients, if you will, for a hit, or a viral kind of hit at the state fair, what are the things? What are the things you look at?
I think number one is mass appeal. You don't want to do something, that people don't want to eat or drink or try. So number one thing is obviously something that most people like. Then you try to find a way to put a different twist on it. No pun intended.
1 minute.
But it is just it's trying to find something popular and put a different way of presenting it.
And we know, like, day one, people line up for the new stuff. But day 4, you're also competing with people who are trying to, who just want their corn and want their French fries. And so you want to be in the top couple things that people are thinking about, right?
Absolutely. I kind of jokingly say we compete for the most valuable real
30.
estate, that last 15% of their stomach. There's between French fries and sweet Martha's and cheese curds, and everybody has their favorites, and they're going to go fill up on that. And then there's a little bit of space left in their stomach, and that's what we're competing for.
Pretty fun. Can't wait to try it. I'll be out there tomorrow. Charlie
10.
Burrows with Lulu's Public House right in the kind of west
5.
end area. Charlie,
3.
good luck tomorrow.
2.
We appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Charlie Burrows. I'll be trying it, not early. Well, maybe early. Got to do what you got to do.
Define early.
We'll start at 9 a.m. checking out all of the different stuff, but this soft serve ice cream will be, it used to be called the Shells Amphitheater in the West End area over by Blue Barn and Lulu's Public House. The beer stand. So it's not at Lulu's. It's right next door because they're trying to make sure that, like, kids don't think it's a ice cream. It's a beer in ice cream form. We'll tell you how good it is tomorrow when we check it out. 5:20, let's break. We'll do the DeRUSH Hour News headlines, page 2 in just a minute. Who owns the rights to the name Apollonia? And why is it maybe not Apollonia? Plus, the formula for setting the speed limit on most roads. Did you know there was a formula? Well, now it's under fire. We'll talk about that next.
You're listening to Drive Time with DeRUSH. Video streaming live.
No spot.
on YouTube and always on your radio. News Talk 830 WCCO. You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio. The Google of Governor protecting himself. Chris Connect is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions. Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have leaf filter installed.
Oh, come on. You don't have to do anything. Leaf filter just install. Honestly, I can never relax so your gutters install leaf filter. I'm number one gutter business.
So I didn't get on this last.
Ron, leaf filter just install your gutters right now. Just visit leaffilter.com right here. Special gutter inspection and get 30% off.
Yeah, John, I hate crowds too. It's my least favorite part of having to be at the fair is just the mass of humanity that's out there. We're lucky in that with the booth that we have, I can go hang out in there in the back a little bit. That gives you kind of some separation from the crowd. But even, in that area in front of our booth, you're kind of out of the thick of the things, right? I mean, Sweet Martha's on one side, Republican booth on the other side, but then we've got our little area out front. With some benches and people who kind of come and sit down and just kind of chill. And it does sort of pull you out of the nonsense a little bit, but you still got to get to the booth. That's, for me, the most stressful part is just trying to wade through the massive humanity that are just looking around, not paying any attention to anything around them. That's where I get,
This StreamYard thing is going to be a major problem.
If we can't get it hooked up out there, yeah.
Because I'm locked up all day tomorrow, so I can't come back here and be futzing with it.
I don't know what Brad's schedule is going to be.
I email Brad,
Well, let's pack up the equipment. Let's pack up the equipment anyway, but
News Talk 830 WCCO.
DeRUSH Hour News headlines. Page 2 begins with who owns the rights to the name Apollonia. Is it Apollonia? Ah, such a great story by John Bream in the Star Tribune, looking at this new lawsuit filed by Patty Catero, better known as Apollonia. That clip was from the 1984 movie Purple Rain. So Prince gave her that stage name, but who owns it? Who gets to market it? Who gets to sell merchandise with it? In June 2025, Paisley Park Enterprises asked the U.S. Patent and Trademark Office to cancel Apollonia's trademarks, which were registered by Patty Catero. And Paisley Park said she signed these contracts in 1983 and 1984. And so, too bad, they're not her. Apollonia's lawsuit says, look, for all these years, Prince, no one on Prince's behalf said, can't use that name anymore. So give me a break. Apollonia served as a host on a podcast called Apollonia Studio 6. She sells souvenirs. There is a new Purple Rain musical set to open in October in Minneapolis. There is an Apollonia character. Is that the impetus for all of this? We don't know. Will Minnesota cannabis stores be able to compete with, like your guy? The answer is no. MinnPost digging into this, and a last-minute tax hike on cannabis that was part of this special session budget compromise. Is that enough to make a difference? Maybe. Minnesota has a 15% state tax on marijuana and other cannabis products. 23 states have recreational cannabis. 14 have a lower tax than Minnesota. So we're in the higher, I would say we're in the middle. Everybody writing about this is like, Minnesota's one of the highest. I'm like, well, we're talking 23 states. Right? So anyway, it does get sort of messed up a bit because our state tax is 15%, but then Minnesota's sales tax is 6.875. Add state, add county. In Minneapolis, that's 9% more. So you're saying 23, 24% tax? Already, legal cannabis is going to be more expensive than the stuff from, your guy, I assume. I don't know. And so researchers are saying, any increase in cost for legal market cannabis is likely to reduce the demand. I had no idea that there is an accepted formula for setting the speed limit on most roads. It is called the 85% rule. So it's sort of complicated, but the idea is that drivers sort of dictate the speed. Not just drivers, but also the construction of the road, right? If you have a windy road or you have narrow lanes or whatever, it should probably be slower. So the 85% rule says the posted speed should be tied to the 15th fastest vehicle out of every 100 traveling, not in traffic, but in free-flowing traffic. Federal government now saying, this is kind of stupid. Like it was a rule that was set kind of in an old way. But what's happened is that people almost all speed now. And so if people generally speed, then the 85% rule doesn't work because speed limits just keep ratcheting up and up and up and up. Amid a recent spike in road deaths around the country, the Federal Highway Administration sent a subtle but important message to states that the 85% rule is not actually a rule. And so you should consider things as how the road is used, the risk to pedestrians, and the frequency of crashes. One more note from Chris Martin, setting the record straight on the scandal that emerged from the Coldplay concert Kiss Cam debacle. He's saying like, hey, it's not a kiss cam. Of all the things to speak out against, though, like you're mad that they're calling it a kiss cam instead of the Jumbotron? Pretty funny. At the end, he said that he sends pure love to the people who were caught canoodling, and I wish them so well.
Sorry you all lost your jobs.
And that you're cheating on your wife.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, do I wish you pure? I guess, like, find love. But I do prefer a tidier solution. Finish one relationship before you move on to the next.
That seemed to be a good idea.
Enough is coming up in just a minute. 651-461-9226. What have we had enough of? I have two things on my list. Dan has a list. Your calls are welcome. Your texts are welcome. And your voice messages too. Listen live to our show on the Odyssey app. You never have to worry about, say, an issue where multi-factor authentication boots me out of the video streaming app that messes up our live feed on YouTube. You don't have to worry about that on the Odyssey app. Heck no. Listen live on that app. There's a microphone button right next to it. Send us a voice message. What are you fed up with? We'll share your enoughs as we have some fun leading you up to Twins pregame here on CCO.
No spot. There was one left at 3:45.
Listen, who is this jokester on the radio talking about shooting birds? They're protected, dummy. Okay? You want to take a shot at a bird? Why don't you grow up?
So we start with somebody who's had enough of Jason.
Enough of me?
There you go.
Yeah.
I love it.
Happens.
Not to me. People are going to be scintillated listening to me type.
What I think is sort of unfortunate is that nobody responds.
Just do this one.
Sure did.
Really driving that message home. The spots are two totally different spots.
Oh, funny.
And there's really nothing in either one of them that I could look at and go, oh, that's probably the same spot. That shouldn't air back to back.
What's her path?
I don't know, I was listening. Okay. Jonathan has had enough of his neighbors having loud nookie. Would get annoying for sure.
Good for them, though, Jonathan. I mean, like, what the heck? Now I'm watching your live stream.
Excelsior.
Represents 16 different insurance companies, not just one. They give you options. Each year they'll review your program. You don't have to. Making sure you get the best coverage and the best price. Do like I did. Go to thecanopygroup.com.
Now, the latest conditions and the outlook for the next few days with your CCO forecast.
All right, forecast brought to you by the Canopy Group here on CCO. Here is Chris Schaefer.
Helps if you have the right thing up.
Tonight, cooling back to 66. Still feels like summer tomorrow. It's humid with a high of 83 with a mix of sun and clouds. But cold front comes through over.
John, go to Axios Twin Cities. They did a story today that graphed attendance at the fair by day. So you can figure out kind of what days are the lower attended days. That'll get you there.
Right now it is 82 in Maple Grove here on CCO. No, I cannot enter the chat, it seems. Enough! We've had it. 651-461-9226. Could be Twins related. Got Twins baseball, Twins and the A's on the air here on CCO tonight. A pregame at 6. First pitch at 6:40. So I would like to start with a moment I had that I may have expressed my frustration with this before during the enough segment. And I have had enough of people who stop at the top of the 94 at Weaver Lake Road exit ramp.
I am so with you on this.
It is admittedly a little scary for people when you hit a red light that has a right turn lane, even though it has it has multiple signs.
Yes.
That show sort of the sign for like this right turn lane continues to be its very own lane when you get onto Weaver Lake Road. So you don't stop, you don't yield, you just go.
Mm-hmm.
And today, first, a truck stopped, a big semi truck. And I'm like, look, I expect that from some dimwit driving like a Honda Yaris or something. But I did not expect that out of somebody with a commercial driver's license.
Not somebody that's a professional driver, no.
So fine, that guy stops. And then he goes. And then 2 cars later, somebody else stopped, and then I laid on the horn.
Yeah.
And then I kept going. And then behind me, I check in the back, and somebody else is stopping.
Maple Grove needs to hire somebody with a flag and a bullhorn to just stand there and just wave people through, yelling on the bullhorn. It's okay. You have a lane. You can just go.
Just keep going.
Yep.
Or maybe the sign needs to be more clear.
Or have
Don't stop.
Flipper. Have a sign flipper there.
Makes me so mad.
Oh, that drives
my
me nuts
kids
every time
know
I drive
it.
up that way.
When I'm in the car with the kids, they're like, here we go.
Here we go.
Here we go.
They're not stopping.
He's going to be mad.
Dad's going to rant.
That is my enough. Dan, we did get an enough on the Odyssey WCCO radio push the microphone button line. Earlier in the show, we were doing a segment with Apple Valley High School. And you should check on podcast because this story is fascinating. We were talking with the athletic director of Apple Valley High School, where they've had to reschedule Friday night football games because they have a nest with ospreys in it. And ospreys are a federally and state protected bird. So the district can't even turn on the lights because the lights get hot. That could disturb the nest. And that would be a violation of federal law. I asked if anybody on the team suggested, a BB gun. And a texter or a voice messenger had this to say. Well, had enough of me today.
Wait till this guy finds out about duck and geese hunting.
I mean, I wasn't suggesting it. I was asking.
Ask the question.
If anybody on the football team staff brought it up, and then if any of the boosters brought it up. Because if you're thinking about like the scale of sort of Bobcat Goldthwait-ness, the scale of you might be a redneck. What was that comedian? What was that guy? Remember he was on like
Jeff something. Foxworthy. Jeff Foxworthy.
Are you smarter than a
fifth grader? But yeah, his original the bit that launched him was you might be a redneck if.
I'm just saying, like assistant coaches of the suburban high school football team, and then worse than them are probably.
And look, you said BB gun. I mean, that's not necessarily
just
trying to get the birds out of there so you can turn on the lights.
That's right.
There you go.
Dan, what have you had enough of? Nothing.
I talked to a guy when I was in for you on Monday. I talked to a guy from the city of Minneapolis about their scooter program and how more people are using the scooters and more people are using the e-bikes that the city has in it, and I'm all for it. I think those are great modes of transportation.
Are you?
I 100% support it. What I don't support is riding the stinking scooters on the sidewalk.
Yeah.
I just got ran over twice last night walking to my car from the same guy. The same guy, I don't know how he turned and then suddenly he was behind me again and almost ran me over again. very annoyed. Which I might have vocalized a little bit, only he had earbuds in, so he couldn't really hear me. But just to keep them off. There's bike lanes.
Yeah.
There's plenty of room on the roads. Don't run those things. You're going to hurt somebody if you're up on a sidewalk. There's not enough room to maneuver. You're going to clobber somebody. Stop it. Stop it. I've had enough.
That's very good. I love riding the scooter. My wife doesn't want to ride the scooter. She's afraid.
The first time I rode the scooter, I was like, "Oh, this is a lot faster than I thought it was going to be going," and it was a little nerve-wracking. But then you get used to it, and it's fine.
It's only 20. It's only like 18. I think it maxes out at 18.
I think people get on that thing expecting it's going to be more like a bike ride, and unless you're like on an e-bike or a downhill kind of bike situation, it zips quite a bit faster than that. Just do it off the sidewalk. Just don't do it on the sidewalk.
The texter says, I keep on hearing people say they don't know that they have to drive those on the streets. But to sign up on the app, it literally says it. For a while anyway, I rode on one of those where it beeped at you if you were on the sidewalk. Like it knows that you're where you shouldn't be. So I get it. I get it. That is very annoying.
Yeah, and it's.
I almost ran into somebody today who, well, I didn't almost because I saw them scooting down the sidewalk.
Yeah.
When I was getting ready to pull into my parking garage downtown, I was like, this person's going to.
Yep, they're not going to stop.
If I wasn't looking, I for sure would have turned right into them. Because you don't expect that.
Right.
And they come up so much faster than somebody walking. So even if you look, no good.
And as I learned Monday, they're not subject to any kind of helmet law or anything. So not good if that happens.
Jason, I've had enough of Prince's family thinking they can run a company that was only left to him due to his death. Yeah. Well, that's how life works sometimes.
More like his lack of any kind of will and testament. That was the issue, right?
Should have a will.
You should have had a will.
Yeah. True.
I don't, but I don't have any stuff. So
yeah. Yeah, I did a story once on who needs a will and who doesn't, and there are some people. Don't let like the will, trust, probate people hear that.
Gutman law, fine people.
But there's some people. If you're just single, you have no kids. The state law sort of dictates how this is going to go.
Yeah.
So you probably don't need a will. I have a will. Very complicated life.
Alyssa gets everything. That's straightforward enough.
Today. Could change at any
Never know.
Never know.
Never know.
I've had enough of the positive high energy Twins commercials. The Twins suck. So stop with the false advertising.
I mean,
now that is a very interesting point, right?
I get it. Do
you think about that? If you're the Twins agency, like the Twins have an ad agency, they have their in-house people.
Sure.
But they have an agency just like everybody else. If you're the agency, are you like, like we could lean into this? Like, do we run the same? What was their bit this year? Like one for all for one? Or?
I think we rise as one. I think is what
I don't know. It wasn't very good. If I don't even remember.
It wasn't Three Musketeers. No, I don't think that was what it was.
Rise as one.
Rise as one. I think we rise as one. I think is the tagline. Yes.
Which we did not rise as one. Turns out
not as much as they would hoping for. No.
Right.
But I mean, I get it, and at the same time, there's people there still trying to make money and sell tickets and do a thing.
Yeah. But
you can't just say, "Hey, we stink, don't come."
No, you could do it though in a different way. Like, hey, we stink, but we just cut the price of the beer by $2. I don't know. Like, there's something you could do, right? It's always something. Come see the new guys. Come see the future.
There's been a little bit of that.
Selling home.
Very little.
All right. A texter has had enough of one commonly used phrase. You can add to that. I'll tell you what this texter is talking about. 651-461-9226. Enough continues in a minute.
I do got to bump back with
Tampa. Hell yeah.
But then we can pivot. Just a reminder.
I have had enough of no one responding about my dual authentication challenge. That's 45 minutes.
I thought about just doing a rant about corporate multi-factor authentication.
Thought about it. Thought about it.
I do like the text. Dan, in football, it's called clotheslining, but if you're just stretching when they come by, it's called bad luck. The problem solved. Funny. People are funny. Jonathan has had enough of the word woke. He's also had enough of management team spending 5 emails a day in his building. My problem is I can't get the management team to send enough emails. Oh, by the way, we turned off the water. That would have been good to know beforehand. That's all I'm saying.
Sure.
We've got 2 techs having enough of the cars for kids. One of which is actually apologizing for. I'm sorry, but I've had enough of Cars for Kids commercials. Everyone. Oh, now you're back in. Use your personal account?
Yeah.
What is Charlie's last name from Lulu's?
Burroughs.
It's 57:20, so we have a little bit of time, but you're going to want to go relatively quick.
All right, the forecast is great. First day of the state fair is going to be perfect. Partly cloudy, high of 83. No rain in the forecast. Friday, showers possible early. high of 80. Cool and breezy this weekend, upper 60s to low 70s. Right now it's 82 on CCO. All right, the temp of the Twins is ice cold, ice cold. But we got Bailey Ober pitching tonight. So, look, Joe Ryan gets a bad outing. That's fine, right? Like, that's fine. And that's sort of what this is going to be. Like, let's see what these other guys can do. Twins lose last night, 6-3. The A's and the Twins have pretty similar records, Dan. A's are 57-70. Twins are 58-67. Pretty similar.
Similar season long, not so similar in the second half. So one of those teams is
one is up, one is down.
Yeah. We'll see what happens.
On YouTube, Jonathan has had enough of his neighbors having loud nookie.
Oh, my.
Very, very loud. Look, if you live in an apartment and your neighbors are profoundly in love, how can you be anything but happy for them?
I mean, you can cheer for them for a little bit, and then it would get annoying for sure.
Are you supposed to, like, I'm just putting myself as the potential neighbor. Am I supposed to, like, reduce my performance?
No, not a bit.
So what's the fix?
There is no fix. You just have had enough of it. That's the point. The whole point of this is to vent. It's not actually to fix anything.
Texter says, I'm a freak. I'll take the noise.
There you go.
Another texter, I was just turned down to be a California psychic. Turned down to be a California psychic, but the texter said they knew it. They knew they were going to be turned down. Very good. Hey, tomorrow we're at the fair. I'm trying out as much new food as I can. So follow along. We'll see you tomorrow. Can't have Tubbsy coming in, messing up our countdown. Bye, everybody.